Hello and welcome to the TMZ podcast. I'm Charlie Cotton, and today on the podcast, I'm joined by my good friend, music fan, Eric Colley.
Good morning. How you doing?
I'm very good, man. Have you been here before for one of our live episodes?
I have not yet.
Ooh.
I know. This is a little scary.
It is a little scary.
Not really.
I'll help you through it, man.
Okay, thanks.
I'll help you through it. If you got any comments you want to leave on our YouTube live, please do so. We will get to them at the end. Today we're going to talk about Gisele is pregnant with her first child with Joaquim Valente.
So we can confirm they're dating now, finally.
I know. Well, maybe. Sometimes people have...
Right.
Maybe. We'll talk about Shawn Mendes because he is bringing up his sexuality.
Something a lot of people have speculated about for a long time, and he's opening up about some stuff.
And finally, Kanye West. He's not the best house flipper, more of a house flopper.
A little bit, yeah.
He's just bought a new place worth $35 million.
I thought he was moving to Japan.
I don't know if he knows what he's doing.
That's today. Well, who knows what tomorrow will be?
To begin with, though, Gisele Bundchen, she is pregnant with the kid's jiu-jitsu instructor, Joaquim Valente. So obviously, Tom hired Joaquim to train the kids at jiu-jitsu. The trainer obviously wanted to train Gisele too. And, you know, push led to shove, and now they're having a baby.
Yeah, it's going to be hard for her to do some jiu-jitsu for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, she's 44, announced that she is pregnant, due sometime early next year. She's maybe like 5 or 6 months along.
That's crazy. She's 5 or 6.
Yeah, I know. That she's kept it hidden this long.
And have you seen photos of her recently?
I'm trying to think. Last time I saw her, she didn't look pregnant.
Well, I mean, we have photos of her recently, and it's like she's skinnier than she's just so skinny still.
I know. We don't know the gender. She doesn't know the gender. She wants to wait until she has the baby.
Hate that.
Why do you hate that?
Just find out the gender so you know what to buy, and you know what other people to buy for you.
For normies, yeah. She's Gisele Bundchen. You think she can't get a outfit for her kid if she doesn't know the gender?
Yeah, no, but if you're building the nursery, and I know that we don't like to do gender norms, no pinks in girls' rooms.
She can build one of each and then just pick which one she wants.
I guess that's very true.
Gisele Bundchen. But yeah, so she did that with her other kids too, with Tom.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so of course she has her 2 older kids with Tom Brady. She did tell Tom and the kids privately before she announced it publicly. You'd have to. And Tom, his reaction, possibly, on his social media, a couple hours after the story came out, he posted a photo of a sunset accompanied by the Fleetwood Mac song Landslide, but the Chicks remake of it.
Oh, it's even sadder.
And captioned it with part of the lyrics, "Oh, mirror in the sky, what is love?"
So he's
what
in
does that
his
even
feelings.
mean?
He's in his feelings
He should have done the other line, "Children get older too," because your kids are getting older, Tom, and now she's got a new one with another guy.
It's got a sting for Tom Brady. I mean, he's the GOAT. Like everything he does, he's the best at.
Although he's been getting a lot of, for the first time probably in his life, actual real professional criticism this year for his commentating on the NFL.
Oh, so you're saying maybe he's in a personal and professional dark place right now?
He's always been the GOAT of football. And now that he's gone to, announcing, people have not loved it.
It's crazy what like a difference his life is right now than say 5 years ago when he was winning a Super Bowl.
You know what I mean? Still aspire to have his life right now, though?
Yeah, watching him at those white parties, mingling with the ladies.
On his yachts and stuff.
Right, I mean, yeah, he's got the life, but it's got to be hard for him. Also, don't they just live like almost across the lake or something from each other?
Yeah, I think they're like neighbors. I
Yeah.
think they stay close to each other for the kids.
Like they're close enough that if he had his binoculars out in his backyard, he could see across the water and see into her backyard where she's banging Joaquim.
Well, if he's got his binoculars watching them bang, that's on him, honestly.
Right.
That's creep behavior on his part. But yeah, so now I don't know how close, not in a bad way, but like how close her kids with Tom will be with this new kid, because her oldest with Tom is 14.
Mm-hmm.
When you're 14, you don't want to hang out with a newborn.
I mean, not hang out, but
I'm saying by the time this kid is like 5, 6 years old, that kid will be 20.
Yeah.
So I don't know how close they'll be in that sense.
It'll be like almost like a parental sort of like just helping out with the kid sort of thing, rather than like a sibling.
I'm saying, so if his kids with her help with this kid, Tom's going to probably wind up at some point watching Gisele's kid with Joaquim. Wouldn't you think?
You think they'll all have to hang out together?
Possibly.
Yeah,
I mean,
probably.
Maybe not, because his kids are so much older than this newborn will be, but it's still going to be their half sibling.
Yes.
And so if these kids, because like, you know, the same way Tom's kids are with Tom's other kid with Bridget Moynihan.
Oh, true. He's got one with Bridget too.
Yeah.
That's right. I forgot about that. I'm so astounded of these. There's a few relationships happening recently, which are kind of like these guys who are rags to riches. There's this Joaquim Valente. There's that swamp tour guide.
The swamp tour guide, the cop that married Miranda Lambert.
The hot cop who married Miranda.
Yeah.
What is like, if you're a hot guy, well, actually, the swamp guy isn't even like, a stunning looking guy. He's just
he's
like
not a bad looking guy.
He's not a bad looking guy. I'm just saying it's not like he's just like
it's just random that he winds up marrying Lana Del Rey.
But the hot cop, super hot. You know what I mean? I kind of get a hot cop, like, you know what I mean?
So are you going to try and be single again so you can shoot your shot with a celebrity?
No, I mean, I think that ship has sailed for me, but I mean, I'd be lying if I said that during the course of my job, during my single days, I wasn't hoping that a celebrity might fall in love with a paparazzi. It's like a movie. It's like a movie.
Julia Roberts and her cameraman. I mean, he wasn't a paparazzi, but
true.
It could happen.
True. I mean, it can happen, but it didn't happen.
It didn't happen, but you're so much happier.
Yes.
With your two kids.
I am.
You're not watching your wife bang a dude with binoculars across the lake.
Oh, please no. I don't even want to think about that. With a jiu-jitsu instructor that's way better probably than I am. No, thank you.
Real quick, because Gisele's 44, which is older for having a kid. I mean, I'm not trying to like be rude or anything. It's just true.
You call it a
geriatric pregnancy.
Geriatric.
Yeah. But what I'm saying, I wonder if this just happened. Like, oops, I got pregnant. Because it's harder to just accidentally get pregnant when you're 44.
True.
So I wonder if she and Joaquim wanted to have this kid.
That would be crazy if this was a plan.
Like put some effort into it.
Maybe they're in love.
Or it could have just happened. I mean, she's not that old. I'm not saying that. But she's 44. That's not a common age to get pregnant.
Well, good luck, you two lovebirds.
Yeah.
Rooting for you. Okay, on to our next story. Shawn Mendes. He is talking about his sexuality, which is quite interesting because there's been a lot of speculation about it. Often the speculation, he tries to go, guys, shut up. And rightly so.
Right, he's like, it's nobody's business.
Nobody's business. But now he's kind of making it our business by talking about it, by singing about it. Let's listen to a clip of his. He got on stage last night in Colorado, talked about his sexuality, and also he's got a song out where he discusses it.
There's just been this thing about my sexuality, and people have been talking about it for so long, and I think it's kind of silly because I think sexuality is such a beautifully complex thing, and it's so hard to just put into boxes. And
it is. It's very interesting to me because I watched many interviews. I was actually going to interview him at LAX last week about this. So I had all my ducks in a row thoughts. And what I wanted to know from him was, you spent like years in different interviews trying to push away the speculation and saying that like, don't talk about, my sexuality. It's none of your business. And now he's promoting his sexuality to sell records. It must have been a difficult decision for him because he's a guy who is very sensitive. Remember how he took a step back from his tour last time because it was all too much?
It was like mental health issues, and he's always kind of had that thing. And people have been unkind about it. When he was dating Camila Cabello, people thought it was fake, and it probably wasn't. But yeah, so this is something that's clearly been very personal to him. And he said in Rolling Stone a few years ago that, like, talking about homosexuality, he goes, in my heart, I know it's not wrong, but sometimes I still feel like I have to be seen dating a woman. Like, I need to basically not be that.
Yeah. I understand that pressure for like a super hot young pop star, and he probably knows he's going to sell more records if he's got like a beautiful young pop star on his arm.
You're selling your records to girls mostly.
True.
And also probably a lot of gay men. But
true.
The thing I feel kind of bad for him is you kind of forget, he's only 26 now. He was in his like mid-teens when he got famous. That's a lot to have people questioning that about you because he's a very good-looking guy. So that was sort of his heartthrob thing, was like a big selling point. So if you're questioning yourself at all, and that's thrust out publicly when you're 16 years old.
Oh, totally.
That's rough.
I mean, we all have to figure out ourselves in terms of a lot of different aspects of who a person is.
Yeah, it's not just sexuality. It's just there's so many things about learning who you are.
But for him having to do it in the public eye, and for these sort of questions and speculation to be hanging over him for years, if he's at a place where he's like ready to discuss it and sort of like it's therapeutic and cathartic, if he's gotten over some of the sort of mental demons that hampered him in the first place, then that's fucking awesome.
That's great. And this might have been part of it, because maybe he thinks, if that's something he was really struggling with, and I don't know how much he is or not, or if he's just like, I'm not sure. And it's just kind of that. But if it's something that really deep down bothered him, when he goes on tour and he's got all the screaming girls and all that, and there's that expectation of him to be this person, that was probably hard for him. So now if he can be open about that in concert, maybe he'll tour again.
Yeah.
Maybe it'll be easier for him to be like, yep, this is just who I am.
I like that.
And I don't need to worry about what you think of me or who you think I am. So
I wonder how
good for
much
him.
I wonder how much sort of Camila Cabello knows or should know, or it's none of her business. Like, it's just interesting. That has been his big high profile relationship, and they've been on again, off again, kind of like over a course of years. I wonder, like, if the partner has any sense of any of this, or if maybe she doesn't have a right to if he's not ready to talk about it.
Or, I mean, it's sort of different. Like, if you watch Bohemian Rhapsody, the Freddie Mercury movie, remember there was the woman he loved, and Freddie was gay. He was just like, whatever. But he did love this woman and left her everything, and she knew that.
Yeah. So things can be different. Relationships can be complicated.
That's what he's saying. So, figure it out in your own time, Shawn, I guess.
Okay, on to our final story. Kanye West has bought a $35 million house in Beverly Hills. So congrats on that. Looks like a great house. But it's just interesting because he just sold his Malibu home last month. The home that he had bought for $57 million, gutted it, and then sold it for $21 million. So a little loss on that.
A little loss.
Is that, my math's not very good, but is that about a $35 million loss on that?
That's a huge loss.
And then a $35 million buy on that. That's $70 million swing.
Yeah. After he lost a lot of money, after the anti-Semitic rants with all of his Yeezys and all of his deals and stuff, he lost a lot of money. This is interesting. Yeah. So, we had heard recently he was moving to Tokyo.
Yeah.
And
that's where we
sold
see
his
him.
Malibu place.
We only ever see him in Tokyo.
Yeah. And now he's bought this. I wonder, because the whole thing with that Malibu house was that Bianca was the architect that was supposed to be redesigning it.
True.
And then that never happened. So does he put her in charge of taking care of this house? Why not? And I wonder, this is...
just gut the whole thing.
Is he going to gut this house? Because it's a nice house. It's got, 11 bedrooms, 18 bathrooms, 7 acres almost, and all the usual stuff. Entertainment pavilion, pool area, cascading waterfalls, and gazebos, and all the stuff that you'd think a house like this would have.
Right.
But, does he come in and just gut it?
I don't think
Because Kanye's always got his vision of how things need to be. And most architects don't design houses to look the way Kanye wants them to look. He likes very sparse, kind of barren, white and gray, and he's got his own weird aesthetic going. Does he have Bianca come in and...
I don't think so. I think that he's like, she's like his squeeze now.
She's
does
an
she still
architect.
work? Does she still have a job at him?
But she still has that eye.
Right.
And they are married. If I'm married to an architect, I'd be like, what do you think?
Yeah. Okay. Well,
I don't
go
but,
for it.
But it didn't work out last time with that Malibu place. It got gutted and then just sat there like a big hole on the beach for a while. So I don't know.
He's got money. He must have money to burn. I didn't know if he had this much money, but he must.
He's got a lot of money. Even with the losses he took, he still got a lot of money.
Okay. Onto our comments. People have been leaving on our YouTube live. Richard Prado said someone needs to check on Tom.
But Kerry McCauley says, hey, what's Tom have to worry about? It's not his.
True. It's just going to change the dynamic. Not that he was part of the dynamic anymore either.
No,
but it's just hard. It's hard to stomach.
Because they do still have minor children together. He's always, he's part of her dynamic in that sense. He's the father of her kids, but...
Angel Rodriguez says 44 is young.
It is, but not for having children, necessarily. It's not old, but it's not...
Not for, yeah.
It's older for having kids. I'm not saying 44 is old as an age.
What celebrity died at 44? And the hint is that I would know this.
Like, Steve Irwin.
That's it. Steve Irwin died at 44. So there you go.
So young.
Nicole said, I'm all for Shawn talking about his sexuality. Let it out, and everyone should just be supportive. Yeah, I agree. I don't think anyone's going to hate on him for this. It's just interesting that he's choosing to do it now, and good luck to him.
And just real quick about Shawn Mendes in general, he's always seemed like the nicest guy.
You
remember like his closest contemporary in age and stuff was Justin Bieber. And Bieber went through his whole brat phase when, with the throwing the eggs and getting speeding tickets and all that kind of stuff. Shawn Mendes has just kind of always been a nice guy that lives his life.
True.
Like,
no, he's a sweetheart. Like I've interviewed him many times, and he's even if he doesn't want to talk,
He's polite about it.
he's polite. He'll he'll take an interest in you. He's one of the celebrities who doesn't see a paparazzi as a paparazzi. He sees him as a person holding a camera. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, I like it when it's like that.
Yeah.
Monkey Man says, I was thinking about asking out Kanye's wife if they get a divorce. Do I have a chance? Monkey Man,
I'm going to say probably not.
maybe not.
But, jiu-jitsu instructors got to have kids with Gisele Bundchen.
True.
So we were just saying you can never rule anything out.
That's very true.
Yeah.
And Bing Bong says, this is a miscellaneous comment, so I'm not sure who's Bing Bong's referring to, but I bet that dude is hairy AF.
Who is he talking? Joaquim? You?
No.
Tom?
No.
What are we talking about?
You!
Oh. Why are we talking about me?
That's the place for comments about us, is the miscellaneous section. It must
It's
be
you.
about you.
You are a scraggly, hairy dude.
I'm not as hairy as I look. I'm hairy like where you can see, but where you can't see.
I didn't know I was being roped into this conversation.
All right, well, thank you very much for joining me, Eric.
Even with the hairy comments, still fun.
Still fun. And we'll see you guys here tomorrow. Goodbye.